Imagine a time when the night sky was a tapestry of endless stars, when the rhythms of ancient drums spoke of destiny and the whispers of our ancestors echoed across vast lands and mysterious seas. Tonight, dear listener, I invite you to journey back through the veils of time to a world where myth and reality intertwined, a world in which one man, a visionary and a warrior of spirit, ignited a flame of unity that still burns bright across continents. In the heart of Africa, beneath the blazing sun and amidst the verdant embrace of ancient forests, there was born a leader unlike any other. His name was Lomax, a name that would come to symbolize strength, wisdom, and the indomitable will to forge bonds between distant peoples. But who was Chief Lomax, and what extraordinary path did he tread? Picture the vibrant markets of the old kingdoms, the rhythmic pulse of tribal chants echoing in the night, and the shimmering mirage of dreams born on the horizon. In these lands, legends were not mere stories. They were living, breathing testimonies to the spirit of a people. And it was here, in the cradle of civilization, that Lomax's destiny was first woven. Born of both the sun and the soil, Lomax grew up surrounded by tales of valor, mystical rites, and the ancient songs of the ancestors. From a young age, he listened with rapt attention to the elders recounting epic sagas of past heroes who had challenged fate, defied darkness, and united scattered tribes under a single banner of hope. Little did anyone know that within this boy's heart burned a desire not just to listen to legends, but to create one of his own. As the gentle breezes carried whispers of change across the land, Lomax found himself drawn to a calling that transcended mere borders. He saw in the eyes of his people a yearning, a spark that, if nurtured, could light the path toward a future where the bonds of kinship stretched far beyond the familiar confines of homeland. And so, with courage as his compass and destiny his guide, Chief Lomax embarked upon a journey that would ultimately unite Africa and the African diaspora scattered across the Caribbean shores. What is it about the human spirit that drives us to seek connection across divides? Is it simply the instinct to belong, or is it something deeper? A longing to rediscover our shared origins in the chorus of our ancestors? As you ponder these questions, allow your mind to wander to the echoes of ancient stories. And imagine the power they hold to bring us together. The winds of fate began to stir as Chief Lomax left the familiar lands of his youth. His journey was not marked by the pursuit of personal glory alone, but was driven by a deeper mission: to weave together the scattered threads of a great cultural tapestry, long separated by the tumultuous currents of history. In a time when the Caribbean was a land of vivid contrasts, slush green isles dancing with turquoise seas, vibrant festivals under a radiant sun, and shadows cast by the legacy of colonialism, a spark of hope flickered among the people. Rumors began to circulate among islanders about a noble traveler from distant Africa, whose presence radiated the promise of renewal and reconciliation. As Lomax arrived on the shores of the Caribbean, the air was thick with the scent of salt and spice, and every crashing wave carried with it stories of survival and resilience. Here he encountered communities whose spirits were as diverse as the colors of a tropical sunset, each with their own tales of suffering, triumph, and unyielding determination. For in every heart burned a question: could this stranger with the deep eyes of one who has seen many dawns and dusks be the very key to uniting their scattered souls? Traveling from one island to another, Lomax listened intently to the laments and the laughter of the people. In the bustling harbor of Port Royal, under a sky painted with the hues of dusk, he sat by the fire with elders whose faces were etched with the wisdom of ages. They shared with him songs of their forebears, songs that spoke of long-lost homelands, of pain and hope intertwined. And as Lomax listened, he began to see a pattern, a shared narrative that transcended geography, a collective memory of a people who had once roamed freely, now bound by the chains of separation. In the quiet hours of night, as the Caribbean moon cast silvery shadows upon the water, Lomax wandered through ancient, sacred groves, where the very earth seemed to hum with the energy of the ancestors. Here, beneath the twinkling gaze of countless stars, he experienced visions that would forever alter the course of his destiny. In these mystical moments, the past and the future converged in a dance of light and shadow. He saw images of a vast, unbroken lineage stretching back to the mighty rivers of the Niger, of lush lands where the heartbeat of civilization thrived. And then, in a moment of profound clarity, he understood that his purpose was to bridge this ancient legacy with the vibrant yet wounded soul of the diaspora. The path was not without obstacles. As Lomax traversed the winding roads and hidden paths of the islands, he encountered voices of doubt and resistance. Some whispered that the old ways were better left untouched, that the past should remain a relic of memory rather than a guide for the future. Others, scarred by generations of injustice, questioned whether a single man could mend the fractures wrought by centuries of separation. Yet every challenge only deepened Lomax's resolve. With each conversation, with every shared tear and burst of laughter, his conviction grew stronger. The power of story, the enduring strength of heritage, could overcome the divisions of time and space. As you listen, think about the times in your own life when a single encounter, an unexpected meeting, or a heartfelt story changed your perspective. Have you ever felt the pull of destiny, the whisper of a greater purpose, urging you to look beyond the visible and embrace a shared journey? And so, with each step, Chief Lomax gathered the fragments of scattered histories, binding them together with the threads of shared experience and mutual respect. His words became a salve for wounded souls, his presence a beacon of hope in a world long divided. The legend of his journey began to spread, a tale of a man who dared to dream of unity, a bridge between the ancient lands of Africa and the vibrant tapestry of the Caribbean. At the zenith of his journey, Chief Lomax reached a moment that would forever alter the course of destiny. A grand convergence of souls in a festival of unity, where the heartbeat of Africa met the pulse of the Caribbean. Imagine a night where the stars shone with an intensity that seemed to light the very fabric of the heavens, where the air thrummed with anticipation and the collective spirit of a people rose like a mighty tide. In a secluded cove on one of the grandest islands, where the land met the endless expanse of the ocean, preparations for an extraordinary celebration were underway. Here, amid the flickering torches and the enchanting aroma of spiced cooking fires, people from every corner of the islands gathered. They came as they were, dressed in vibrant fabrics, their faces a mosaic of joy, sorrow, and resilience, each carrying the weight of generations. They gathered not just to celebrate life, but to honor a heritage that spanned continents and ages. Chief Lomax stood at the heart of the gathering, his presence commanding yet gentle. With eyes that held the stories of 1,000 ancestors, he began to speak. His voice, both powerful and tender, wove a tapestry of words that resonated with every soul present. He spoke of a time when the great kingdoms of Africa flourished in unity, when the land was a haven for wisdom and prosperity, and when every heartbeat was a tribute to life itself. His narrative was not simply a recounting of history, it was a living, breathing call to reclaim what had been lost. He recited the ancient songs, the epic tales of valor and sacrifice, and the moral lessons that had been passed down through generations. Every word was imbued with a reverence for the past and a fervent hope for the future. As his voice rose and fell like the rhythmic tide, the crowd felt a stirring within, a powerful awakening of collective memory and pride. In that enchanted night, the barriers that had long separated people began to dissolve. Elders, youth, and every person in between found themselves united by the common thread of heritage and the shared dream of a future built on mutual respect and understanding. It was as if the very soul of the island, with its verdant hills and crystalline shores, joined in the celebration, a living testament to the power of unity. Then, in a dramatic moment that seemed almost preordained, the sky itself responded. Dark clouds gathered, only to part at the precise moment when the first strains of a sacred melody filled the air. A brilliant shaft of moonlight illuminated the central gathering, casting an ethereal glow upon the faces of those in attendance. It was as if the heavens had conspired with the earth to herald this moment of convergence, a moment when the past and the present danced in harmonious unison. For a brief, awe-inspiring moment, every soul present felt the weight and the wonder of their shared destiny. They became part of a greater story, a narrative that transcended individual lives and wove together the fabric of a rich, diverse heritage. In that luminous instant, the legend of Chief Lomax reached its crescendo, and the promise of unity born of strength and legacy was etched into the hearts of all who witnessed it. Have you ever experienced a moment when everything seemed to align perfectly? When the universe whispered secrets of destiny? Reflect on the beauty of coming together, how each heartbeat contributes to the greater symphony of life. As the festival surged into a joyful crescendo, traditional dance intertwined with the soulful cadence of spoken word. Drums pounded like the heartbeat of the earth, and every rhythmic beat carried with it the stories of a people who had triumphed over adversity. The celebration was not merely a festivity, it was a living ritual, a reaffirmation that the power of shared stories could heal wounds, bridge divides, and ignite the hope of a unified future. Chief Lomax, standing amidst this sea of unified souls, felt the profound impact of the moment. It was as though the legends of old had awakened, breathing life into the present and guiding the path forward. With every word he uttered, every gesture of his hand, he reminded the gathered people that their strength lay not in isolation, but in their collective identity, a heritage rich with lessons of resilience, courage, and boundless hope. As the night deepened and the festival began to wind down, the embers of the celebration smoldered with a quiet intensity, a promise that the spirit of unity would not fade with the dawn. The revelers dispersed slowly, their hearts heavy with the memories of the extraordinary night, and yet lightened by the newfound hope that stirred within them. In the days that followed, the impact of Chief Lomax's vision rippled outward like a series of gentle waves across a still pond. In every village, on every island, the story of that enchanted night was retold and embellished by those who had experienced its magic. The elders, inspired by the leader's words, began to convene in community circles, sharing the ancient stories of their forebears and interpreting them in ways that resonated with contemporary struggles and aspirations. Young and old alike found solace and strength in these gatherings, where the past and the present met in dialogue, each generation learning from the other. Lomax did not seek personal acclaim from these acts of remembrance. Instead, he saw them as living testaments to the transformative power of shared history. Like a gentle gardener tending to a delicate bloom, he nurtured the seeds of hope that had been sown that night, encouraging communities to create their own traditions of remembrance and renewal. His influence was subtle yet profound, a reminder that every story told, every memory cherished, was a brick in the foundation of a unified future. Yet even as the celebration's fervor faded into the gentle cadence of daily life, challenges remained. The divisions that had long scarred the lands did not vanish overnight. There were those who still clung to old grievances, hesitant to embrace the unifying power of collective memory. And so, in quiet moments of reflection, Lomax would wander along the shore, watching the tide ebb and flow, contemplating the delicate balance between the weight of history and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. In these reflective moments, he would often speak softly to himself, and perhaps to the attentive winds that carried his words across the water, pondering questions that resonated with every listener. What is the true measure of unity? Can the scars of the past be healed by the simple act of remembrance? And in the end, is our destiny not written in the stars by the choices we make today? His answers were as gentle as the sea breeze and as profound as the ancient rhythms of the earth. Each day became an opportunity to build on the night of convergence, a day to honor the lessons of history and to work, tirelessly and with quiet dignity, toward a future where every person recognized the shared heritage that bound them together. The legacy of that fateful festival was carried forward in countless small acts of courage, in the community storytellers who recounted the tale of Chief Lomax at every gathering, in the murals painted on the walls of modest homes that depicted ancient heroes and celestial symbols, and in the whispers of prayer and promise that resonated in every sacred space. Slowly but inexorably, the disparate voices of the African diaspora began to harmonize, united by the memory of a leader who had dared to envision a world where every soul was interconnected. And so, as the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the legend of Chief Lomax continued to grow, an ever-evolving narrative that transcended the boundaries of time and space, echoing in the hearts of those who believed that unity was not just a dream, but a destiny waiting to be embraced. Now, as we draw this tale to a close, let your heart be filled with the quiet, unwavering truth that the spirit of Chief Lomax endures. His life was a testament to the boundless power of unity, a reminder that in the tapestry of human existence, every thread, every story, is vital to the whole. His legacy is not confined to the pages of history or the echoes of a long-ago festival. It lives on in the whispered prayers of a grandmother, in the hopeful eyes of a young child, and in every heart that dares to dream of a world where the divisions of the past give way to the bonds of a shared destiny. As you reflect on this legend, consider the power of your own story. What tales do you carry within you? How might your own experiences serve as bridges between worlds, connecting the fragments of history into a grand, unified whole? Chief Lomax's journey teaches us that the strength of our collective legacy is found not in isolation, but in the willingness to listen, to remember, and to share. The stories we inherit are not relics of a bygone era. They are living maps, guiding us toward a future where empathy, understanding, and resilience reign. In the twilight of our narrative, allow yourself to be swept away by the vision of a world reborn through the power of shared heritage. Envision a horizon where the voices of Africa and the Caribbean, of every corner of the diaspora, rise together in a symphony of hope, a melody that speaks of ancient wisdom, of battles fought and won, and of dreams that continue to bloom in defiance of the darkest nights. And so, as the final notes of our tale echo into silence, remember this: every ending is but a new beginning. The legend of Chief Lomax is a call to honor our roots, to cherish the stories of our ancestors, and to forge new bonds that transcend time and space. It is an invitation to join in the eternal dance of life, where each step is a tribute to the past, and every forward stride carries the promise of a brighter, more unified tomorrow. What legacy will you leave behind? In the quiet moments of your life, when you listen to the soft murmur of the wind, or the gentle crash of waves upon the shore, may you hear the echoes of Chief Lomax's voice, urging you to remember that you too are an essential thread in the vast tapestry of our shared human story. Thank you for joining me on this journey, a journey of discovery, remembrance, and hope. May the legend of Chief Lomax inspire you to seek unity in every heart, to cherish every shared story, and to carry forward the eternal flame of our collective legacy. Dear listener, if the timeless echoes of legends have stirred your soul tonight, join our community of story seekers. Subscribe to our Stories of Legends YouTube channel and embark on a journey where every myth, every ancient tale, and every heroic whisper comes alive. Let the past inspire your future. Hit subscribe and never miss a moment of magic.